welcome back to the Healthy Homesteaders channel. Today we are chatting winter, all things winter on the homestead. What do we do in the winter? Where do the chickens go? What happens in the garden? Does anything even grow? What's going on? Here we are in the middle of winter. We've gotten hit with a winter storm the last few days. The sun's finally peeking out, hey-o. But we had about 2 feet of snow the last few days. So we're just playing catch up. We're doing all the winter chores today. Gonna talk you through that. Gonna show you some of our winter coop setup and what that looks like. So here I am outside of our winter coop setup. The chickens are actually in the barn this winter. So on the side of our barn, we have this door. We picked up the door just from a restore, took off the door that was on there and put on this restore door that was a wood one that we could cut out. It allowed us to cut out a space at the bottom to put in the omelet door. Shout out to this. This thing is amazing. It'll automatically open up in the daytime and shut in the nighttime or whenever you set it to be. So any chicken owners, highly recommend that. Right now we have it shut just because the chickens are preferring to stay cozy inside. It's pretty cold out here. Other things on the door, we knocked out the windows and then added on a fan there just for some extra ventilation coming in there. Then here, when the chickens want to, on a little bit nicer day when there's not as much snow, they'll come out the bottom here and they'll just graze all around here. So we've set this up here with 4 100 feet fences from Premier One. They have it set up here and we can just manipulate it and put it wherever we want. And then the chickens can come graze, hang out, pick at the ground, hide from predators. Brandon has it set up too with some fencing and some little shelters for them so that they can hide from all the predators. We're talking to you hawks, don't come at our chickens, please. And yeah, the chickens are pretty happy out here. They love to come and graze and hang out and just enjoy life outside on a day when it's a little warmer. Let's head into the garden, check out what we have growing this time of year. Nothing, a whole lot of nothing. So, I mean, we actually have a couple things growing this winter, just not outside in the cold. This allows us here to grow some stuff inside. This is the click and grow system, which is pretty sweet. You literally click and grow. I feel like a hype woman for them, but not at all affiliated. Anyway, you fill it with some dirt there, put a couple seeds in, and then put it into, this is all filled with water. And this just has a wick, and it will wick up the water so that it will get the water that it needs. This here will tell me once it's empty, then I just need to fill it back up with water, just on the side. The lights are on a timer system, so throughout the day, you can put it on for like 12 hours of the day, then it's off for 12 hours of the day. But this is awesome. I can grow some lettuce, some chives, onions, peppers, tomatoes, thyme, other herbs as well too. It's not gonna feed our family for the winter. Ideally, someday I'd like to have a bigger setup so that we can grow even more in the winter. But this just allows me to get some fresh herbs, some fresh lettuce, just to put on salads as garnishes and stuff too. Gets us by in the winter. We're just all snow in here. So there's a garden box I found dug underneath here. But here's the garden. This is what we had all set up last year and the year prior. Surrounding this was fencing and then our gate coming in, but we've since tore that all down because the game plan is to move the garden over yonder where we have some more sunlight. All right, I'm standing now in what feels like new land of ours. We've always had this land, but I feel like our property just totally expanded in the last year. Brandon was doing work. He cleared over 100 trees, definitely. This area here is now going to be where we're going to be moving the garden to because it's gonna have a whole lot more sunlight. Sun rises over there, it's gonna come up, woo, lots of sun all day, come down, and we will be happy here, lots of stuff to grow. We're gonna have the greenhouse here, the garden boxes here. It's gonna be a big project. At first I was like, really? We just put in this garden. Are you serious? Like, Brandon came to me and said, hey, I'm thinking we should move the garden. I was like the one that we put so much work into digging, like where we dug a trench so that the garden would go, like the fencing would go deep in the ground, nothing would dig through. We put so much work into putting that garden in. So when he said we're gonna move the garden, I was like, no, absolutely not. But then I realized that was kind of the whole purpose of clearing this land here. Now we have sunlight coming in here and things will grow so much better. So I'm looking forward to that there.
Thanks, Carly. I'll take it from here with the chickens. So normally in the springtime, summertime, fall time, they're in this kind of a mobile coop setup. As you can see, there's wheels on here, which allows me to move them every day if possible, just so that the poop load and parasite load doesn't build up, and we can get a chance to give them fresh grass every day if possible, wherever their coop is. But as you can see, with all the snow that we have, it's going to be kind of difficult to move this in the wintertime. So we've actually brought them inside, so follow me. So my dad and I kind of jerry-rigged this little coop setup in here, which again, very cheap, very affordable, so you can do something like this. And that's one of our roosters right there. But you can do something like this really cheap, really easily, and you can have this all kind of fenced off in your barn or a garage if possible too. Other opportunities as well too. But here, come on, let's go check out the chickens. So here we are in the indoor chicken coop. As you can see, we've had a nice temporary thing with the pallets here that we jerry-rigged together. Basically what happens is we just found a bunch of free pallets on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, and we bought door hinges from the restore, and we positioned them so that they'd be self-supporting so they could stand upright and they won't fall. So we have them all laid out here, and then it's being supported and it's able to move with the door hinges. And then we have the plastic that we get from your local hardware store. Just a nice thick plastic that goes over the pallets just to make sure so no wood chips come out. But also the plastic goes underneath all these wood chips as well too, just to kind of help make cleaning up the spring a little bit easier, because as you can see, it gets a little bit messy in here with all the chickens, and it's just an entertaining thing to say the least. But things that we need to do for winter is making sure that they have lots of water. As you can see, they're out of water, so we have to fill these up today. And a big thing with chickens is they drink lots of water, and they need to stay hydrated in order to lay or keep up their egg production, of course, as well too. So making sure they get plenty of water, and thankfully in here it stays above freezing for the most part, unless we had that Arctic freeze, which we had a couple days ago. Then it got oh, hi guys. We got actually some ice in here from the waters because it got so cold, because it was I think -16 outside with the wind chill. But most of the time it's warm enough in here where the waters are actually thawed out. Get my chicken workout in. 10? 2. And here we have one of our automatic feeder setups, which has been really helpful and saves a lot of time. So what I did is I got this trash can from Blaine's actually, and I took a hole saw, 4-inch hole saw, and made a cut on all 4 sides of the trash can basically. And then I ordered these PVC elbows on Amazon, I believe, yeah, Amazon. And I basically stuck it in here, those holes, so they could have an automatic feeder where they can stick their head in here. I don't know if you can pan in here to see. If you want to come up here now, and you can see there's the feed. So I fill it up pretty full here, and then over time we'll just keep settling in as the chickens keep eating more and more feed. And then I fill it up when needed. I probably fill this up with 2 50-pound bags of feed, and I probably fill it up every 1.5 to 2 weeks. So they do go through their feed, but it makes feeding them a lot simpler right now. So another fun thing we have to do, especially with all the wood chips in here, is we like to give our scraps from our kitchen, because one, they'll eat what they want to eat, but if they don't want to eat something that they don't care for, it'll just get composted in here with the wood chips, and this will go in for our garden. It's got rich fertilizer from the chicken poop and also from the nutrients from our kitchen scraps. And as you can see, they enjoy their scraps. And this is our temporary setup for our nest boxes as well too. As you can tell, we scrap things together pretty quickly, because when we first got the chickens, winter came early and we're like, what do we do for a nest box in the inside? Because for a mobile coop, they have the nest boxes built in there and we can't necessarily remove them to bring them in here. So what I did is we had an old shelving in a closet that was actually the perfect size for a nest box, and it was rotted out a little bit, so we're gonna throw it away. But we decided to repurpose it for the nest box, and it's worked out really well. A couple 2x4s as well too, just to give them a little bit of a perch just to hop up here. And then we put a little bit of plywood here just to kind of make sure none of the eggs fall out and the bedding stays in as well too. We've scraped together some old t-shirts just to kind of give them some privacy, because chickens love laying in a quiet and dark place. So that's why we have the t-shirts, just to kind of give them a little bit of privacy, and it'll drape over as well too. So one more thing before we wrap up our tour of the indoor coop. Chickens love to roost, so they like to hop up as high as they can or fly up if they can, and they roost up there for the night. So what happens is, as you can see with a couple of these ladies, they're hopping up here, and we use a little bit thicker material here from the hardware store to kind of give them a little bit bigger perch for their feet, just so that they can relax a little bit more as they perch up here for the night. So every night, like clockwork, they'll all one by one follow, go all the way up to the top here, and they'll roost for the night. And building it at this angle allows them to poop, and it won't fall on another bird, so it'll fall straight to the ground. And then when it's daytime, the ladies can hop down as well too. So another fun thing too. That kind of wraps up our tour for the indoor coop. Let's head back up outside. Thanks for tuning in to our winter homestead setup. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And a quick synopsis for what we're going to be doing this spring is all those trees that we cleared out here. We're going to be putting up our high tunnel right here. We're going to be moving our guard over here as well too, and possibly putting in a carport as well too for maybe some future animals, which we'll keep you in tune for as well too. So again, thank you for joining the Healthy Homesteaders. Hope you guys enjoyed this video.
I love chicken chores.
I love chicken chores, especially winter chicken chores.
Yep.